I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah. Okay. So we will start with the merge query. Yeah. Merge query and the append query is what we are left with under the home tab. So let's see that. Now, let's say where we use merge query is if we need to bring some columns from another table inside one table based on the common column. Yeah. So in the front end, we create relationships, right? So similar to relationships, there we just create a connection between the two. Here, what we do is we directly bring in the two or three, the n number of columns that we need from another table into the existing table, which would be based on the common column. Yeah. So let's say in sheet one, I need that two columns from sheet two, which is department and designation. So the common column that I have between the two is employee. Yeah, so how do I use it? Is I click on merge query, I select sheet two, I select the common column between the two. Yeah. Then I select the join kind. Yeah. So here, if you select the drop down, you will see these many of the options for the join kind. Yeah. So what are these options? If you see, it will give you description of each of the join here. Yeah. So if you say left outer, it says all from the first and matching from second. So this is what we need because we need all the rows from the sheet one. That is my first table. And wherever it is matching in the second table, then that is what I need here. Yeah. So left outer join is what I need. If you see below, it would give you how many are matching. Okay. How many rows are matching, it would give you that information. Okay. Right. So now as I did the join, I can go ahead and click OK. Yeah. So now what happened? You receive a column with the table name. Yeah. So sheet two is my table name. That column is here. Yeah. So what I wanted was I wanted the two columns physically to be present here. But after doing the join, I just have a link. Yeah. When I say link, that means, let's say for 07550, if I click on this table, I have the information of 07550. Yeah. But this is not what I need. I need that two columns to be physically present here. Right. So how do I do that? I will click on this expand. Yeah. This expand icon that I have for the sheet two, I will click on this. Yeah. So I click on this import from the other table because I already have it here. I'll select the two columns that I need. Yeah. Now, for these two columns, if you see, there is an option below called as use original column name as prefix. Yeah. So if you select the tick mark, yeah, and hit OK, what will happen? It will give you the column names like the table name dot the column name. Yeah. So if I have department, so it will be sheet two dot department. Yeah. And then sheet two dot designation. Yeah. So if you want this kind of naming conventions, so you can click OK by um, checking the box here. Yeah. So if I do this, you'll see the two columns are now present in this table, but the column headers are like this. Yeah. So if you want the original column headers, what you will do is you click on expand, uncheck employee code and uncheck this, and you will get the original column name. This is how you bring the columns from another table inside one table. Yeah. Now, as I have these two columns populated here, I don't see the purpose of sheet two in the front end. So I can disable the load for this. Simple. Yeah. So this table would be there in your report. It would refresh when you refresh on, but it will not be visible in the front end. Yeah. Because it doesn't have any purpose anymore, because what we are doing is we are bringing in these two columns into the sheet one. So sheet one would load completely. These two columns will also load. Yeah, that's why I have disabled this table. Now, if I apply the changes, and if I go to the front end, this has error because this was coming from sheet. Yeah. So if I expand sheet one, you can see that the two columns are present here. Okay. Okay. Understood merge query. Yeah. Any queries for this option, merge query? Let's go
No,
ahead
sir.
and try this. Yeah. Let's go ahead and try this option. So you have sheet one and sheet two already in your report, I believe. Yeah. Which is coming from the Excel file employee details. Yeah. So let's go ahead and merge the query and bring the columns from sheet two to the sheet one. Yeah. Let me know once you're done. Okay. And everyone.
Mm.
Okay. All right. Shall we continue then? Yeah. There is one more option to merge query, which is fuzzy matching. Let's see what it is. Yeah. Now, let's say that you have a table wherein you have some incorrect entries, yeah, incorrect values. Yeah. Let's say I have a country column. Yeah. Now, for each country, while entering the data, there was a lot of spelling mistakes done. Yeah. Like while typing the name Mexico, this was the error. Yeah. And like this. Yeah. For Canada, let's say this was the spelling error. Yeah. Then we have Germany. right? Like this, yeah. So, what is the other plants? Right. These kind of spelling mistakes were done for each of the country name. Yeah, let's load this table. Yeah. Now let's imagine that you have a table which has at least um, 40, 50,000 rows. Yeah. In that, you have 20 distinct country values. And for 20 distinct countries, you have 5 to 6 incorrect spellings for each on an average. Yeah. So can you, anyone think of a solution what I can do to correct the spellings without touching the original data inside Power BI, how we can correct these spellings? Any idea? The option that you can think of?
Replace value.
Replace value. Okay. So let's say I replace this value. Yeah. So I'll right click, I'll replace value, Mexico. I'll say match entires and contents. What happened? I was only able to replace one. If I want to replace this, again, I will do replace value, right? So like this, each different incorrect spelling, you will have to do each separate replace value. Yeah. What if in future you have a new incorrect spelling for Mexico? Then what you will do? You will have to manually come here and again do the replace value. Yeah. Plus your table would become heavy because you will have n number of replace values. Yeah. As I said, if I have 20 different countries, and for each country on an average, I have 5 to 6 incorrect spellings. So 20 into 6, that means 120 replace steps you'll have to do at least. Correct? And that is also not a foolproof solution, because in future, what if we have an incorrect spelling, right? So in that case, we can use fuzzy matching from merge query. Yeah. So to use that fuzzy matching, what you need to do is that you need to have one table wherein you have the correct spellings, okay, of the countries. So you need to have a single table wherein you will have all the correct names for each of the countries available. Then what we do is we match this column with that country column wherein you have the correct values. Yeah, we already have created one table, column tools, wherein we have the correct country names here, right? So what we will do is we'll make use of this column. We'll try to match it with this column. Yeah, we know that it will not match because both of them has different spellings, right? But while matching it, we will say perform the fuzzy matching. Yeah, so based on the fuzzy matching, it would return you the result. So what does fuzzy matching do? It tries to detect the nearest uh, possible spelling, yeah, nearest possible values based on each of the values of your rows. And then based on that, it will return you the results. Yeah. Let's see how it works and how effective it is, right? So let's do the merge query here as well. I'll select column tools. I'll say country and country. So here, if you see, the selection matches 0 of 8. Yeah. So when this kind of thing appears, just use fuzzy matching. Now what happens? All the 8 are matching, right? So this is the option that you will use fuzzy matching to perform the merge. Hit OK. Again, the same option. I'll expand the value. I just need the country values here. There you go. So now for each incorrect spelling, I have the correct values available here. Yeah, this is how I can correct the spellings here. Yeah. So this, yeah. Any questions for Fuzzy?
No, sir.
All right. So this was about the fuzzy matching. Yeah. Now the next option that we are going to learn is append queries, which is below merge query. Yeah. To learn append query, let's take two different tables. This time connect to CSV files. Let's say I have this March month file, and I will load another CSV file, which is April. Yeah. Now, if you look at both of these tables, in the March table, I have columns like year, month, USD, and the rolling average, right? If I go to the April month file, April month table, again, I have the same uh, number of columns and same names, right? So if you have two or more than two tables, yeah, which has same column names, yeah, or which has same number of columns with the same column names, yeah, what you can do is, and let's say you are receiving some monthly data, yeah, you are receiving some monthly data, and what you need to do is all this monthly data you need to combine into one table, and then you have to use this table, you have to use this one common table to do the visualization. This is what you need, yeah, for example. So you can do that using append, right? How do you do that is you will uh, go to the one table. Let's say I need this April's 8 rows. Yeah, I have 8 rows in this table. I need that to be appended below this 8 rows. So what will happen? All these two tables values would be in one single column, and then you can analyze and compare between the two, right? So it would be more easier if I bring the values from the two into one single table, right? So to do that, we use append. Yeah, here I can say data April and I'll click OK. Yeah, so now you can see that as the column names were an exact match. Yeah, as the column names had the exact match, now I have the March month rows as well, and below that I have the April month rows, right? So this is how it would be done. Yeah, so pending the table is like this. Yeah. Yeah. Let's say that I have more tables like this, and if I want to append again the same thing, I would do it. Yeah. So what do we understand is the difference between the two is merge query is we bring columns from another table to the existing table. Yeah. What is append? We append the complete table one below the other. Yeah. Understood? The difference between the two? What is merge and what is append?
Yes, sir. But column
Yeah.
name should be same, both sheet.
Yeah, column name should be same. Let us take an example. Let's say in my April month table, yeah, I have a space in the year. Yeah, space won't affect, right? So let's say I will change the name. I will change the name a bit. Let's say I'll say month name. Yeah. Now if I go to the March month column, month table, what will happen? The month column has only the values for March, but if I see the April month values, I need to go to another column.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So what happens, even if you change a name a bit, yeah, let's say not month name, I'll just add a dot. Yeah, I'll just add a dot. Even if I add a dot, it is again a separate column. Yeah. So for the same column, the new table's values would be null, and for the other column from another table, the above values would be null. Yeah. So that's why we need to make sure that the column headers are same, and then you will be able to view it like this. Yeah. But now this append query is manual, right? This is a manual process, correct? Like let's say every month you will be getting new files. Yeah. Every month you have a monthly file coming up, right? And that is what you need to append. Yeah. Now, if that is the case, so what you will have to do is every month you'll have to load that new file and then append it here, right? You have to come to this step, edit it, and then if you want to add more tables, I'll set three or more tables and I'll add another table here and then hit OK, right? So every month I'll have to do it manually, correct? But what if I need to automate it? Yeah. When I say automate, that means whenever a new file comes in, automatically it should append, right? Automatically it should appear below the existing tables. Yeah. So if I want to do like that, what I will do is instead of doing append here, I will use the combine files option. How do I use that? Yeah. Let's remove these two tables. Yeah. Now I have a folder. Yeah. So this is inside a folder. Let me open this location. Yeah. So let's say I have a folder called as extracts. Yeah. So in future, if you come across this kind of things, I think the connection was lost. Yeah. Now, let's say I have a folder called as extracts. Yeah. So this is the folder where we will be keeping all the monthly files, which would be coming in every month, right? This is what we are going to do. So we are going to give the solution to the end user. Yeah. So if they say that there would be some monthly extracts coming in every month, yeah, and based on that extracts, we need to append it and then uh, show the data into a visualization. Yeah. If that's the case, what we will tell them is create a folder somewhere in your drive. Yeah. And then paste all the monthly files into that. Yeah. Okay. So once they do that, yeah. So once they do that, what will happen is in one folder you will have, once you do that, you will have all these Excel files into one folder. Yeah. Okay. So what will happen? All these files would be in one folder. Even the future files, let's say for a new month, if a new month file comes in, that will also be available or added here, right? So once these monthly files are there, yeah. So let's take a live example. I'll just remove June and July outside this folder. Yeah. Now let's connect to this folder. Yeah. So remember, whenever this kind of query comes, wherein you have to use monthly files from a folder. So what you will do is you will copy the folder path. You'll come to Power BI. Now, irrespective of what kind of files do you have, your data source that you will connect would be folder. Okay. So the data source that you will try to connect, data source that you will try to connect would be folder. Okay. Irrespective of whatever the file type would be in your folder, into that folder. Yeah. So let's go ahead and search for the folder data source, which is here, and let's hit go. Yeah. I will paste the path here. Yep. Now, once I hit OK from the folder path, yeah, don't click on combine and transform. You just click on transform data. Yeah. Okay. Once you click on transform data, you can see all the files listed inside that folder, right? So what all do we have in that folder? We have some CSV files, we have a shortcut, we have an image file, and we have a text file. What are the files that I need to combine? It's these three. Yeah. Okay. So I need to append these three files. I need to ignore the other. Yeah. So what you need to do is here is go to extension, filter only the CSV files. Yeah. Okay. So now what I have done is I've only filtered the CSV files. Okay. Once you have filtered this as CSV files, okay, so once you have filtered that, then I can come to the content column. Yeah, now you can see the combined files is enabled, right? So what I need to do is either I click on this combined files or I click on this content. Yeah, if I click on it, what will happen? It will give me a pop-up for the preview of that table. Yeah. And then I hit OK. Now what will happen? You can see that my column, that my table starts from the second column. I have year, month, opportunity amount USD, and the rolling average. Yeah. And here, if you see, you have a new column called as source name. This source name, what it does is it gives you the details of the rows from which table it is coming in. Yeah. So if you filter this, you will see the three CSV files all appended together here. Yeah. Okay. Now, let's say that I have a new file coming in the folder. So what will happen? Let's see that. Yeah. So let's say I will paste June month file. Yeah. So I'll move it here. I'll cut this, extracts. Let's paste it here. Okay. Let's come to our report. If I refresh it, you'll see the June month file automatically coming in. Yeah. So this time I didn't have to manually append the table. Yeah. It was automatically done by using the folder option. Okay. Yeah. So this is how you can use the folder option, which is available. Yeah. Got it, everyone? Yeah. Now let's say I add the July month file as well. Yeah. Here it is. Paste. Let's refresh it. There you go. So now you will see July month's data as well. So if you filter it here, I have all the five files. Yeah. So this column dot name. Yeah. This is a column that would help you a lot to determine or identify which rows are coming from which table. Yeah. Okay, so that's how you would use folder, or you will give a solution of folder to the end users when they have this kind of data sources, like wherein every month a new file would be coming in, whether it would be a CSV or a flat file or text file or Excel. Yeah, if something like that is happening monthly, on a monthly basis, then you use a folder as a data source. Yeah, clear till here, everyone?
Yes, sir. Sir, अपेंड क्वेरी और रिलेशनशिप में सर डिफरेंट क्या है? मतलब सेम ही सेम लग रहा है।
अपेंड में हम टेबल वन बिलो अदर पेस्ट कर रहे हैं। रिलेशनशिप या मर्ज क्वेरी में हम कोई कॉलम्स ही लेके आ रहे हैं। सो लेट मी एक्सप्लेन। अभी मर्ज क्वेरीज, राइट? मर्ज क्वेरीज में क्या हो रहा है? अभी मेरे पास दो टेबल है, या टेबल ए एंड टेबल बी। ठीक है, यहाँ पे मेरे पास एक कॉमन कॉलम है ए, या एंड इट हैज वैल्यूज लाइक 1 2 3 4। Here I have 1 2 3 4 4 1। ठीक है, so based on this column, if I have some another columns B, C, and here I have D, E, F, कॉमन कॉलम बेस करके मैं ये बी और सी कॉलम यहाँ पे लेके आ रहा हूँ।
हम्म,
क्या? सो यहाँ पे कॉलम्स आ रहे हैं टेबल बी में, बट अपेंड में क्या हो रहा है? मेरे पास अगर एक टेबल है, टेबल ए, जिसमें मेरे कॉलम्स है 1 2 3 4, या मेरे पास और एक टेबल है टेबल बी, जिसमें मेरे पास कॉलम्स है 1 2 3। ठीक है, तो क्या हम
हम्म,
कर रहे हैं? टेबल बी के जो रोज है, रोज नॉट
हम्म,
कॉलम्स, यहाँ पे
हम्म,
कॉलम हम लेके आ रहे हैं। अपेंड में रोज जो है टेबल
हम्म,
के,
हम्म।
ये रोज हम लेके आ रहे हैं इसके अंदर, टेबल वन में। सो रोज आर गेटिंग अपेंडेड वन बिलो द अदर इन अपेंड। मर्ज में वो कंप्लीट कॉलम ही हम लेके आ रहे हैं दूसरे टेबल में।
जो एग्जैक्ट मैच है, मैच कॉलम
जो
से
जहाँ
पहले।
पे एग्जैक्ट, या जहाँ पे एग्जैक्ट मैच।
हाँ, तो सेम अपेंड में भी वही हो रहा है ना, जो एग्जैक्ट मैच है वही आ रहा है ना, बट रो पे आ रहा है।
नहीं, एग्जैक्ट मैच नहीं आ रहा है, समझो। ओके, सो मेरा कॉलम वन में वैल्यूज है ए डी, ये ऐसे वैल्यूज है।
ओके।
मेरे सेकंड टेबल में सेम कॉलम वन के अंदर ए डी है ही नहीं, सिर्फ ई आर है।
अच्छा।
यू सी वैल्यूज आर डिफरेंट
हाँ,
बट
हाँ।
कॉलम नेम इज सेम। तो ये वाली वैल्यू आ जाएगी यहाँ। यू गेटिंग माई पॉइंट? इफ यू सी
हम्म,
हियर, मर्ज क्वेरी कहा गया शीट वन। ठीक है, अभी
हम्म,
ये डिपार्टमेंट और डेजिग्नेशन, ये न्यू कॉलम्स है शीट
हम्म,
वन के लिए। ये कॉलम यहाँ पे शीट वन में नहीं था,
नहीं
डिपार्टमेंट
था।
और,
हम्म,
बट मर्ज कॉलम बोल के हमने वैल्यूज मैच किए,
हम्म,
ईच रो के वैल्यूज मैच किए और उस वैल्यूज के अगेंस्ट जो भी वैल्यूज थे वो लेके आ गए।
हम्म,
लेकिन अभी हम एक्सट्रैक्ट्स का टेबल देखेंगे, तो हमारे पास अब फर्स्ट 8 रोज में अप्रैल है, राइट?
हम्म,
फर्स्ट 8 रोज में अप्रैल है फॉर मंथ कॉलम। लेकिन जो जुलाई से फाइल आ रही है, जुलाई की फाइल है, उसमें जो वैल्यू है वो डिफरेंट है,
हम्म।
राइट? सो ओनली द कॉलम नेम इज सेम, वैल्यूज आर टोटली डिफरेंट। मर्ज कॉलम में वैल्यूज भी सेम रहते हैं।
अच्छा, सेकंड टेबल में अगर एक भी कॉलम अगर मैच नहीं होंगे तो अपेंड होगा ही नहीं, कॉलम नेम।
कॉलम नेम मैच नहीं होगा तो अपेंड होगा, बट अलग अलग कॉलम्स आएंगे
अच्छा।
ऐसे।
अपेंड का मतलब मर्ज है क्या? खाली मर्ज?
नहीं, अपेंड मतलब वन बिलो द अदर, मर्ज मतलब ज्वाइन कर रहे हो।
अच्छा। और ये जो मर्ज क्वेरी है वो वीलुकअप की तरह है क्या? एग्जैक्ट मैच जो
ये
हुआ
लो,
तो वो वाली?
करेक्ट, यस, वो वी लुकअप की तरह।
ठीक है।
राइट, एनी अदर क्वेरीज एनीवन फॉर मर्ज एंड अपेंड? Okay. Alright, so this is what merge and append and then combine was. Yeah. So this ends with the home tab. Let's go to the transform tab. Yeah. Okay. So under the transform, you may see few of the options that we already have covered under home tab. Like you have group by, yeah, you have the group by option, you have use first was headers, right? Data type, rename, replace values, split column, yeah. These options we have already seen. So we will only cover what is new in this tab, yeah. So let's take that. Now, the first option that we are going to cover is transpose. What is transpose? Let's take a small table to understand that. Yeah, let's take this. We'll just take this one. Yeah. So what is transpose? Transpose means all your rows will be converted into columns and columns would be converted into rows. Yeah. That's what transpose is. Yeah. How you can use that is you just click on transpose, you'll get this kind of results. All the rows values are now into separate columns. Yeah. This is what um, transposes. The transpose is very rarely used. Okay. What is transpose? It will just turn your row values into columns and that's it. Okay. Now, the next one is you can ignore even the transpose because it's not much used. Yeah. The next one is reverse rows. What it will do is it will just rearrange the rows. Yeah. It's again like not that useful option. Okay. So let's see that as well. So if you say reverse rows. You see, the last row became first, the second last row became second, and so on. Yeah, so all the rows are reversed using that. Then you have count rows. To take the example, you can go here. So here I can see I have 698 rows. Yeah, but if I need the count and I need to use that count somewhere else, right? I can do that as well. Let's say I'll reference this table. Yeah, I'll create a count of this. So I have 698 as the count. Yeah, I'll say count. Okay. Now what I can do is if I have something, let's say I need to divide this column by the row count, 698. Yeah. And this value may change in future. Yeah. As many a times you may come across some calculation wherein you have to divide the value by the row count. Yeah. Something like that. So you can do that using this. Yeah. So let's say that you have this table in which you need to divide this column by the row count. Yeah. So to divide a column, you have the calculation here under add column. You can go to standard, divide, and here what I will say is use values from column. Okay, that's not available. Let's do it in a simple way. Yeah, because this is what we need. We need a dynamic value. So using a straightforward divide won't work. So I'll have to use a custom column. Okay. So here I will say opportunity amount USD. Don't worry about this custom column. We will learn it in future. I'm just showing a demo of how do we use that here. So I'll say row count. Yeah. So you can see that now it appears. You hit OK and you'll get the results. So now the values that you see are divided by 658 are the result of each of the values in the opportunity amount USD column divided by the row count. Yeah. So that means by getting the row count, you can go ahead further and do some calculations on top of it. Yeah. That's what we come to know by getting the count. Yeah. Now, once you have this value, you can again do some calculations here itself. Yeah, if you want to add some value to it, if you want to do something to it, yeah. And then if you want to do some scientific calculations, like if you want to find out the sine, cos, tan, yeah, you can also convert it into a table again, and then you can do some calculations on top of it as well after converting it to the table. Yeah. So like this, you can do once you have the count. with you. Yeah, I'll delete the table. Okay. Now after count, what do we have? We have the data type change, which is text. We can change, we can detect the data type as well for a particular column. Yeah. Now to detect the data type, let's say I am at this step, yeah, wherein no data type is assigned for any of the columns. You can see ABC 1, 2, 3 to each. Yeah. That means the data type is any. Yeah. So you highlight all the columns together, yeah, because I need to uh, detect the data type. I need to assign data type for each. Yeah. Then I highlight that and then I click on this detect data type. And you'll see it assigns the data type for each column. Yeah. This is how I can do it. Okay. This is what detect data type is. Yeah. Now, after detect data type, we have the replace values, which we have already seen. Let's see what is fill. Yeah. Let's see what is fill here. Yeah. Now, if you see this unit sold column, okay, if you see this unit sold column, yeah, here you have some null rows, right? We have some null rows here. Yeah. So if I want to paste the above value like 2178, if I want to paste that value here, wherever the null value appears, you need to copy the value from above cell, above row to the null result. Yeah. If you want to do that, you can use fill. Yeah. So here, as I need to copy the value from above, I will use fill and the direction would be down. You can see that where my null value is there, now it is filled with the value from the above row. Yeah. Similarly, if I need the below row to be copied to the above cell, like if I need to bring 1513 here, I will say fill up like this. Yeah. That is what fill is. Okay. Yeah. Clear till here? Fill. Any queries for the fill option?
No, sir.
Okay. Then is pivot column. Yeah. So what is pivot? Let's come to extracts. Let's say I don't need this source name column. I don't need this opportunity amount USD rolling average. Yeah. Now what I need is for each of the month, I need a separate column. Yeah. Wherein it would give me the total of all together. Yeah. So for April, I have a separate column, May separate column, June separate column, March separate column, like this. Then I can use pivot. That means what it will do is select the column that you need. Uh, from which the rows you need to convert it into column. Yeah. So what will happen with pivot is if you see you have four values here. Yeah. April, June, March, and May. Yeah. So these row values would now be converted into separate columns. So you will have four separate columns with these names, and then you will get the total of uh, the USD amount for each of the rows. Yeah. So let's say I have 8 April, right? For 2018, I will get the total of these four. For 2019, I will get the total of these four, like that. Okay, so let's try that. So I'll select month, I'll say pivot column. Yeah, values column is USD, right? So select USD. Advanced option, select aggregate as sum. If you need average, if you need maximum, minimum, count the no blank values, don't aggregate at all. Yeah. If you want any of the aggregate function to be applied, you can select from advanced option. By default, it would be sum. There you go. So now what has happened for each year, I have one row, and for each month, I have separate columns. That is what pivot is. And the opposite of pivot is unpivot. Yeah. So many a times you will get the data in this structure. Yeah. Let's say I close and apply. Yeah. So I apply that changes to the front end. Okay. So let's say I have this table. Yeah. Now what I have is I have year. So I will use a bar graph. Okay. Now I have 2 years and I need to compare the month values. So I'll say March, April, and May. Yeah. Okay. This is what I'm trying to configure. Okay. So if you see, I have 2018, 2019, and I have each of the month values, right? Now, in future, if a new month gets added, yeah, let's say July or August, yeah, that would be again as a new column, right? So what will I have to do is in this visualization is I will again have to drag that new column into the axis, correct? So that is again a manual process, yeah. So remember, whenever you come across a table with this format wherein you have separate month columns, yeah, then you need to bring all that into one single column. Yeah, so you need to unpivot it. So how do you unpivot it? You highlight all till the end, unpivot columns. Yeah, with this what will happen is you will have a column wherein you have the month values, and then you have a value column wherein it would distribute the values. Okay, once this is done, if I apply the change. Now, what will happen? Even if you have a new month coming in, it would be under the attribute column, right? So in your visualization, what you can do is you'll say value as the y-axis, and in the legend, you will have attribute. So you'll still get the same results, but in future, if you have um, August month values, yeah, it will automatically populate. If you want to see that, let's say this July month file, what happened was for July, we forgot to change this values. So I'll just mention July here. And let's save this file. Okay. Let's refresh this table and you'll see July as well. Yeah. Let's apply the change in the front end. We'll do a refresh for this table. There you go. So now I have April, March, April, May, June, July. All are there. Yeah. So you can see that automatically July got added up to the unpivot table. Yeah. To this, it automatically got added. Even though I haven't selected July like this, it got added, right? So that is what unpivot column will help you. Yeah. Most of the time, if you are connecting to some CSV or Excel data wherein you have monthly separate columns, you will receive the data in this particular format wherein you will have separate month columns. Yeah. So if you have separate month columns, make sure you do the unpivot from transform. What does unpivot do? It converts your columns into rows like this. Yeah. So if you notice, these were the column headers, right? Now these are as a part of one single column, and these are the values for it. Yeah. Understood this unpivot? Pivot and unpivot, and any queries for any of it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So after run pivot, we have move, which is nothing but you can move the columns from here to there. That's why it is given. Then you have convert to list. What is this? I can create a list out of this column. So if I say convert to list, I will have this list kind of an option. And then I can use this list into some calculation to create a parameter or something like that. Then after convert to list, we have spread column that we have already seen. Yeah. Then we have format. So format is, let's say, I need to convert all these values to lowercase. I can do that. I need all that in uppercase. I can do that. I need only the first character to be uppercase. Yeah. I need to remove the the white space. Trim means it would remove the space from the beginning and the end of the text. Yeah. So if you want to do that, trim is the option. Yeah. Trim is the option for that. So I can say trim and it will remove white space from the beginning and the end of the text. Similarly, you have clean. What is clean? It will remove any special characters if you have at the beginning and the end of the text. So like if you have dot or you have some colon, semicolon, something like that at the beginning of the text, then you can remove that using clean. Yeah. If you want to add a prefix, yeah, what is a prefix? Let's say if you want to add some symbols or if you want to add some text before each column, yeah, so I'll say prefix. What if I call it as month space? Yeah, this is the prefix that I need to add. I can add it like this. Okay, so this is prefix. Same way we have suffix. Yeah, that means at the end of the text. Yeah. Let's say I need to add the current year, 2022, for each of the month. I can do like this. Yeah. I didn't add the space. I can edit this. Uh, let's say hyphen. Yeah. So I can do it like this. Yeah. Now, after format is an interesting option. Merge columns. This would help you to generate a date column. Now, if you see in this table, right, you have a month column and you have a year column. Okay. Now, if I have to use this as a date field in the front end, that means I need to have the sorting based on the dates, right? In my front end, you would see that April comes from first. Yeah. So the sorting order here is alphabetical. Yeah, you can see that there's an alphabetical sorting order, but what I need is I need the day-wise sort. Yeah. Okay. So to have the day-wise sort, I need to have a proper date column, which would have a proper date data type. Yeah. So in that case, if you want to assign a proper date data type, then what I need to do is I need to change the data type in the backend. So if I try to change the data type of this, change it to date, it will give me error. Why it is giving error? Because I have text values. So Power BI cannot recognize whether this column has dates or not. Yeah. So in order to generate a date column out of these two values, wherein you have one column of month name and the other column of year number, yeah. Then in that case, okay, so let's say I have this month and then I have the year. Yeah. Now, what I can do is I can combine both of this column together. So what I'm doing is I'm selecting the month column first using the control, selecting the year column, and I can do merge columns from here. Yeah, I selected the merge column. I can use a separator. Let's use a hyphen. Yeah. So these are the delimiters that you can add in between. Yeah. Okay. Now, after after selecting the separator, that is the delimiter, you can give the new column a name, let's say date. and hit OK.
सर वॉइस क्लियर नहीं आ रहा है.
अभी क्लियर है? अभी क्लियर है? हेलो.
सर
Now is it
आवाज ही
fine?
नहीं आ रहा है.
अभी okay. Let me try to
No,
choose.
it's okay, sir. Now.
It's okay. All right. Yeah. So let's say I am at this stage, right? Yeah. So as I said, if you have two different columns with month name and the year, yeah, you can
वॉइस ब्रेक हो
combine.
रहा है.
स्वाति, आप रिकनेक्ट करने का ट्राई करोगे मीटिंग में, बिकॉज अदर्स आर एबल टू हियर, मे बी कनेक्शन इशू.
तो कुछ भी सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है.
Okay, it's only for Swati, I think. Rest all are able to hear me, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Swati, just reconnect. Just disconnect the meeting. Connect again. I'll add you. Okay. Swati, can you hear me now?
यस सर.
Okay, good. Yeah. All right. So what I was saying was that if you have two different columns with the month name and the year number separately, yeah, then you can go ahead and combine the two columns, yeah, with a separator. Combine the two columns, and then you can change its data type to date. Yeah. Okay. So let's see how we do that. Remove the merge column again. Yeah. Let's say I will select month column first, and then I'll use the control and select the year column. I'll click on merge. Yeah, I'll use a separator. Let's use hyphen, and let's rename the new column as, I'll say, date. Right now I have it as a text. I can now change it to date. I will have the proper date column. Now if I apply it in the front end, again, I don't need legend anymore. I just need the axis. So if I have it like this, there you go. Okay. Now the sorting order is correct. Like if I just need to change one thing, I'll just change it to categorical. Yeah. Let's change its format. I'll again use month here. Yeah. So March, April, May, June, July, and then 2019. Right. So this is how you can see the data. Okay. Clear till here? How you can generate a date column out of the text values? Yeah. Any questions for merge columns? Anyone? Yeah. Okay. So let's stop here for today. Yeah. I know we started at 8:18. That's why I took 1 hour. So sorry, guys, for the delay. Let's continue tomorrow. We will start with extract, parse, and the remaining option here, and the additional option here. So mostly tomorrow we would be done with Power Query data. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. Okay then. If there are no
CSV वाला
queries, हाँ बोलो.
CSV वाला वो पाथ दे सकते हैं
हाँ, उसका वन
फाइल
बाय.
लोड करने के लिए. Yes, yes.
इसको अभी कॉपी कर लो, मीटिंग एंड होने के बाद आपको ये टेक्स्ट नहीं मिलेगा.
Yes, yes.